Hello guys and welcome back to the FPL Duo. We are back again for another stream. It is a late one, later than usual. And yeah, we thought we'd go for the Kneejerk reaction stream as game week 30 has just concluded. So we'll discuss how our game week 30 has gone. And then we'll also look ahead to game week 31 and discuss any early transfer news, transfer plans, I should say. And yeah, just speak about the game week in general. So yeah, how's your week going so far, Jordan? Yeah, how you doing?
Yeah, obviously Chelsea and Spurs games wraps up this game week, but it has been a mixed bag, I think, of results. I think for a lot of us, there's some injury issues that need sorting out, but also the points of returns. Yeah, there's been a bit of a mixed match for this week.
Yeah, I'll kick it off with my team. So on the screen, you'll see my game week 30 squad. And now, as you guys know, I am on a wild card. So I did click the wild card button in game week 30, and it's not gone, it's not gone great. I think it's fair to say. I'll come on to pros and cons, the things that have gone well. But let's kick it off with Raya in goal. Now, Arsenal v Fulham. Arsenal conceded in the 94th minute, I believe, against Muniz. I think Muniz scored. That wiped the clean sheet, which was unfortunate. So Arsenal 2-1 in the end, so lose the clean sheet point. Gabriel is the interesting one because he's red flagged now. Gabriel actually went off injured after about 15 minutes with a hamstring injury. It looked quite bad when going off, and now it has been confirmed by Arsenal that Gabriel is actually out for the rest of the season. So he's going to have to be taken care of. I'll have to take him out of the team soon. So yeah, that's one slight worry for my team. I'll have to use a transfer on him soon. So yeah, Gabriel is out for the season, and he comes away with a blank as well after conceding. The rest of the defense isn't any better. Now I've got an auto sub for Dan Burn. Dan Burn comes away with the 2 points after Newcastle's win, I believe, against Brentford. I think it was 2-1 in the end. Kuzanov was actually meant to start for me, and unfortunately, he was left out the squad, not even included on the bench. I think he was rested, as far as from what I know. He's not injured. So, yeah, very unfortunate Kuzanov didn't play because Kuzanov did keep a clean sheet. So I would have had 4 more points. So that's a bit of a downer for this week. So yeah, Burn 2 points, and Munoz as well. A blank. Didn't see this one coming. 1-1 against Southampton, which was a bit of a poor result for Crystal Palace. But yeah, nothing for Munoz in this one. Moving on to the midfield, up and down. Obviously, Salah was my captain. Unfortunately, he did blank. I think it's his first blank since game week 22 or 23. Yeah, it wasn't Salah's best game. It was quiet in moments. Liverpool could have had another penalty, or could have had a penalty. I think we're very surprised that Núñez didn't get a penalty for being kicked by Pickford. So if Salah got that, it would have obviously got a return. But yeah, other than that, Salah didn't really take many shots in this one. I thought Everton defended okay, but Liverpool weren't great in the first half, and obviously Jota gets the winner, and then Liverpool sort of controlled it, but Salah not as involved in the attack as usual. So yeah, comes with a blank. Saka is a bit of a positive for my team. Now, as you guys know, I took the risk, bought Saka in. I knew the risks, with minutes being managed. Team news comes out. I see Saka's on the bench, which wasn't great. But then I think Saka comes on the 66th minute, 5 or 6 minutes on the pitch, and he goes and scores a header. And that sort of changed my game week around, because without that, I think my game week could have went terribly. So very happy to see Saka score for my team. And yeah, I'm happy to own him on the wild card going into Arsenal's double. That's now been confirmed as well, which we'll come on to in the second part of the video. Yeah, Sarr, as mentioned, blanks as well. so nothing there, 2 points. And Jacob Murphy was my auto sub for Foden as well. Now, as you'll see, the two Man City boys are selected on the wild card. Both of them, or Foden was on the bench. However, he didn't come on. That is a big, big worry going forward for me. Because he's not cheap, 9.3 million, I think, asset. I don't really want to be worrying about his minutes. So Murphy comes on, got an assist, which was nice, a 5-pointer. So kind of happy with that. But Foden, if I was wildcarding in 31, I'm not sure I'd have Foden now in there because it spooked me, him not playing. So I'll see how he does in game week 31 against Man United. If he doesn't start Foden, I probably will have to take him out sooner rather than later. So one to watch on Foden, but I'm going to keep him, I think, for now. Then up front, Marmoush had a good game from what I hear. Obviously scored a goal, couple of bonus points, I believe. Could have had a couple more, I think, as well. He had quite a few chances. So, yeah, nice to see Marmoush. Happy with the pick. And, yeah, I just wish I picked Savinho now with hindsight. But, yeah, nice to see Marmoush get 9 points. I know Savinho got 9 points as well. So, yeah, all in all, happy with that. Mateta played about an hour. As we know, he's slowly being managed back from injury. So he comes in with a blank. Slightly disappointed, but not too worried in the long term because obviously Mateta does have a couple of double game weeks coming up. So I'm hoping, he can sort of pick that form back up pre-injury. But yeah, a bit disappointed with the 1-pointer. And then finally, concluding with the final pick in Isak. Isak does it again. Another goal for Newcastle. I think that's now 21 goals for the season in the league. He's having a fantastic season. Another win for Newcastle. Every game is big for them now. The only downside is he did go off injured with a groin issue. I don't know how serious his groin is. If he's going to miss the next game week, if he does, it's again one to watch and keep out on the press conferences. See what Eddie Howe says. But yeah, 8 points, can't complain. And on the bench, I had Areola, Ozzy Kuzanov, and Foden weren't involved. And Konza did pick up a clean sheet in Aston Villa's 3-0 win against Brighton. So, happy with Konza there. I could play him in the double coming up. So, yeah, all in all, wildcard didn't go off great mainly because of Foden and Kusanov. I would have liked to see them play, but it is a worry going forward that I have to deal with 2 potential Man City rotation risks, plus Gabriel is out for the season. But I think I'm more worried about Foden at the moment. But yeah, 46 points, all out. Didn't have any players from the Chelsea game today. But yeah, 478k, I believe, my rank. I don't know if it's 100% accurate because the game's not fully updated, but I'm on 46 points. But yeah, not a great week. Never is when you get a red arrow, but let's move on to game week 31. Hopefully I'll get a better week. But yeah, I'll let you go next, Jordan. Talk us through your game week.
So yeah, mixed bag. This game week, obviously starting off with Pickford in goal, only getting the 3 points in that 1-0 loss to Liverpool. It was going to be a big ask for Pickford to get something out of that game, but he did manage to make a couple of saves, which did gain him another point onto his total of 3. Moving on to the back 3, so obviously Munoz, as we've spoken about him, very interesting result against Southampton, 1-1. Maybe that's due down to Crystal Palace obviously playing midweek and might be some fatigue in there still, but I did expect Southampton to score, but getting the draw is a shocking and surprising result. I think I thought Crystal Palace would actually go on to win that game, but ended up drawing 2 against each other. Moving on to Milenkovic, and it's not a surprise to see Nottingham Forest obviously win the game. Not only did they win, they obviously score 1-0 in the end, so they did stop Man United from capitalising on the draw or even beating them without Chris Wood, which I think is still good in terms of where Nottingham Forest are on the table to sustain that lead and get those 3 points that are precious. But yeah, nice, obviously, from Milenkovic for the 6 points. No bonus for him, though, just a clean sheet. Moving on to Huijsen, and again, this could be down to midweek fixtures, but Bournemouth did lose that game to Ipswich 2-1 in the end. They were without Clivert, though, which was, when we said before the deadline ended, he was going to be a doubt for that game, and he was. He didn't start, he didn't play. And yeah, Bournemouth did score, but they did lose 2-1 in the end. Only Hoyson picking up a yellow card, and also a point taken away for the goals he conceded as well, which ended on 0. Moving on to the midfield, and doesn't really get much better. Obviously, Captain Salah does blank after so many consecutive game weeks of returning. He's finally had a blank. Anything he did get was the clean sheet point, which made the tally go up to obviously 6 points for the captaincy over him. So yeah, a bit of a letdown for the captain, but I wasn't going to take that risk regardless of going against Salah this week. Beside him, obviously Bruno Fernandes, obviously playing against Milenkovic. Nothing whatsoever from Man United. One of those games where nothing was really going their way, and disconnected again team where there wasn't much provided and few chances given in the game. So yeah, only 2 points from him this week. Moving on to Palmer, who obviously just played against Spurs. No goal for him still, but he did manage to assist Enzo Fernandez's goal in the end. So yeah, he was rewarded with, I believe, at this current moment, it is 6 points. I don't know if there's bonus added to that or not, because the match has just concluded.
I think he's on one bonus point, I think.
So yeah. So if he's still on 6 points, that does mean he's still currently on bonus 1 then in that case, which should be accurate in terms of my points and rank at the moment. But yeah, no goal from him again this week, but an attacker return from an assist. And then moving on to the last midfield who we spoke about is Marty Sarr. Again, Crystal Palace, not really the great result we expected, especially for those who had triple Crystal Palace. Unless you had the player that scored in that game, there wasn't much really to return from that fixture. I finally moved on to the front three, and this is where I think most of the success has come from in terms of the other positions. Starting with Marmoush, obviously we scored the goal. He got the full bonus points as well, and Man City did go on to win that game 2-0 in the end against Leicester, which is no surprise as they have been struggling. Beside him, obviously Wissa with 5 points. He did get an assist for one of the, I believe he got it for the penalty given to Brentford, as he was committed on the foul. And obviously Mbeumo did take it and scored. So even though Brentford lost that game 2-1 to Newcastle, Wissa still managed to get an attacker return in the end. And finally moved on to Isaac with a bit of fortune and misfortune in this game. He did score once again, but he was taken off around 65 minutes. And I believe he does have a groin injury. Not known how serious it is. We'll have to wait and see. But he does manage to get 8 points in the end, with the bonus 2 combined with the goal scored, which was a nice result. Now, this is the painful thing. Obviously, on the bench, you can see there's a couple of points there, about in total 18. So 8 from Mbeumo, who I've just spoken about scoring the penalty, and also rewarded with bonus 1 point. And beside him is Nate Nuri, which it feels like ages since I've seen Wolves keep a clean sheet. And they did keep one against West Ham at home. So yeah, a bit gutted there, because he did get a bonus 2 as well, Nate Nuri, on top of the clean sheet. So he also got 8 points too. And obviously Mikalenko blanked with 2 as he was playing against Liverpool. But yeah, those points on the bench, I think, have mitigated my green arrow quite a bit, because that's 16 points. I would have been on a massive green otherwise if I did play in Mbeumo and 8 Nuri in the starting 11. But that's the way it goes, I guess. There's going to be points on the bench with the team I have on the screen. But in the end, that's 49 points, I believe. At this current moment in time, it probably will change by the next deadline. And the current rank is 1.5 mil. It hasn't really moved much. A couple thousand rank gain. It's not very significant. And it's pretty much almost a neutral position that I've gained. So, yeah, all in all, 49 points and 1.5 million green arrow for me in Game Week 30.
Okay. Let's take a few comments. We've got Patrick. Hi, lads. Good week for me with 59 points. And Marmoush captain working out. Yeah, fair play. A lot of you guys went Marmoush captain. And it's definitely paid off. Who would you bench of Vardiol, Saliba, Munoz, and Burn? And who to bench of Foden, Eze, Mateta? We'll come on to this actually next. At this point, I'm convinced I wildcarded to lose points. Yeah, that's what it sort of feels like, even with me, with the team I had. But I think I did just outscore my other team. But yeah, wildcard didn't go too great, I don't think. Let me pull up my bus team quickly. If we could change the 1 second, guys. There you go. So, going back to your question, Patrick, I will still probably play Foden, Eze, Mateta. If I'm being honest, I would probably bench Munoz. It's a tough one. So I wouldn't want to bench Munoz. It's a tough one. Maybe Vardiol. What do you reckon, Jordan, against Man United?
I probably would bench Vardiol for Man United. I just think that game, I don't see a clean sheet, even though we know how terrible Man United are. They do turn up for big games like that occasion. So that would be the player I'll probably bench out of the top options.
I'll quickly go through my bus team for Game Week 31. So I've got in goal Raya against Everton away. I've got a back three of Burn against Leicester, Munoz against Brighton, and Kusanov against Man United away. I've got a midfield four of Sarr, Foden, Saka, and Salah captain at the moment. Up front, I've got Marmoush, Mateta, and Isak. Now, on the bench, I've got Areola, Jacob Murphy, Gabriel, and Konsa. Now, we know Gabriel's out for the season, so he's someone I'm trying to bench for this week. I don't think I'm going to deal with that transfer yet because I've got 3 defenders on playing. And if Kusanov does miss out again, I could play Konsa against Nottingham Forest at home. So I do have bench cover even if Kusanov misses out. So I'm probably not going to make a defender transfer this week. I don't see the point. I'm going to leave Gabriel and I'll have another week's of information and then make my decision next week on what defender I want to bring in. In terms of the midfield, Foden is a concern for me now after missing out. And looking at Foden's minutes, maybe I should have thought this one through a bit better. You know, he played 14 minutes against Brighton, 68 against Forest, 16 against Tottenham, played 90 against Liverpool. But yeah, his minutes aren't great, I'm being honest. It's just not been consistent at all this season. So I sort of am already regretting bringing in Phil Foden, but I'm going to give him the Man United game. If he doesn't start against Man United, I think I might have to sell him, guys, to someone like a Savinho potentially, but I'm not going to panic yet. Obviously, I've got Jacob Murphy on the bench against Leicester. If he doesn't start, I could even start Jacob Murphy against Leicester instead of a Sarr, or, you know, if Isak's going to be fit, because if Isak's fit, then I wouldn't mind captaining Isak against Leicester away. But I think Salah against Fulham away is a tougher fixture for Liverpool. And I don't think Liverpool will have an easy game. I wouldn't be surprised, you know, if Liverpool do drop points against Fulham, like maybe a draw. I do think it's going to be a tough one. But yeah, that's one thing to consider. But in terms of free transfers, I've got 1 free transfer and I'm going to roll, I think. I don't see me needing to do anything. Foden is an issue, but if he doesn't play, I've got Murphy. If Kuznetsov doesn't play, I've got Konsa. And I'm quite happy with that in that case. But yeah, I think I'm going to roll.
I think just to touch on Foden, I think it's not a entirely bad thing that if he does get, let's say, doesn't play against Man United at all again for another week, then you have got Murphy there as cover, who has got Leicester. So I think the worst thing that could happen is if Foden does get brought on for like 20 minutes or so, and then obviously blanks, and then that stops you from obviously having the auto sub for Murphy. So it's one way or another for Foden. Can he manage to score like obviously Saka did? coming on for a few minutes, or doesn't play at all, and then Murphy gets something out of the Leicester game.
Yeah, I could be tempted to play Murphy even. I'm gonna wait until hopefully we get some team news. I don't know if we will. I'm just having a look at the fixtures quickly. Man City's a Sunday kickoff, so we won't get team news in that case. But we'll just press conferences. If I feel like get a leak, or Foden and Kusanov both worry me now. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, it's looking like it's going to be a roll for now. Let's bring up your team, Jordan, your boss team. I'll take a few comments on while you load up your team. I removed triple Bournemouth, disaster in 29, to triple Palace, disaster in 30. Make it make sense. Play Sarr or Rashford. I don't know if I feel like Rashford would be benched if he started 2 in a row. Rashford is definitely tempting. He has got, who did they play? Villa have Forest at home next. So it's not the easiest game. Forest doing well. But yeah, I wouldn't mind playing Rashford in that one. Because obviously Sarr has Brighton. Probably still play Sarr. I don't mind. I wouldn't want to bench Rashford. I have Isak, Mateta, Marmoush, Salah, Saka, Foden, Eze, and Murphy as front 8. And I'm not benching Murphy against Leicester, so one of Mateta, Eze, and Foden have to go to the bench. Probably Mateta with the minutes risk.
Yeah.
Well, minutes risk. I'll let you read out your 11, Jordan, and then also go through early transfer plans.
Cool. So yeah, the fixtures are not the greatest this week, as it will be for most teams. But starting in goal, it's Pickford. Got a tough one against Arsenal at home. Back 3 at the moment, it's Munoz, Milenkovic, and Huijsen. But again, both with fixtures that I don't think will keep clean sheets, and just hope for something else other than a clean sheet to get the points. The midfield 4, Salah, Bruno, Palmer, and Sarr. Bruno having the toughest fixture against Man City. Not really great, not really positive about that, but that is part of my transfer plans that I will discuss. And the front 3, Marmoush, Isak, and Wissa. And again, obviously, Isak is a 50-50 whether how serious the injury is, whether he plays against Leicester away as well. And on the bench, we got Mbeumo, Aït-Nouri, Nikolenko, and obviously Bardi Marston as the non-playing goalkeeper. Now, I haven't really played around with this team, so you might be questioning why Mbeumo and obviously Aït-Nouri on the obviously the bench. But just to give you a bit of clarification on that, I will just do a little play around. Let's just say Isak isn't fit for Leicester away. I'll have him on the bench, and then I might actually consider not playing Huijsen against West Ham away and playing Aït-Nouri as that, leaving that as the back 3. So you guys know, and obviously captain wise, I'll probably stick it still on Salah. Transfer plans. Let me move over to the other page so I can show you what I have in mind. So I have 1 free transfer now after using 2 from this game week and 0.8 million in the bank. Now I think this is a pretty straightforward transfer to make because I don't see Man United getting much from the Man City game, even though they do turn up in big games like this. It still doesn't fill me with positivity, so I will be taking out Bruno. And this is a difficult one because I have 2 players in mind from the same team that I want to bring in because they both did well in Game Week 30. Now, I am siding towards Rashford, who did score, obviously, in that 3-0 win. But at the same time, I want Rodgers as well, alongside him. I think those 2 are potentially the better 2 to go for when they do double, obviously in 33 against Newcastle and Man City. If they are to get any result from that game, Aston Villa, I will bet on them 2 to get something big in those 2 games they have in that double game week. And yeah, it is between them 2. I kind of want to fit in Rodgers somewhere. I'm not sure where I would fit him in that midfield, but it looks like I'm going to side towards Rashford and take the chance. I know he's not a 90-minute player. He played about an hour in Game Week 30, but if he does get the opportunity before he does get subbed off, or hopefully he does start in obviously the match, I will take the gamble on that. Bring him in because he's a nice differential around his price and ownership. But even though it's a tough fixture against Nottingham Forest at home.
Okay, are you going to do it for? You're going to wait to bring him in 33, or are you going to do it for this week and play him against Forest? Because you got a bit of benching headache, I guess.
Yeah, it's still another benching headache because I'm very hesitant of benching a Brentford player like I did obviously in Burma. So I might potentially bench Sarr. I won't feel as bad, I don't think, if Sarr gets something and then Burma does in that case. But yeah, that's what I'm looking to do. Maybe benching Sarr, put him on the first team bench, and then play the midfield four: Rashford, Salah, Palmer, and Burma, with obviously the free with Isaac and Marmoush. But if Isaac isn't fit, then I'll play Sarr and make it a midfield five.
Comment here from Dan the Man. Hi guys, no table bonus for Emery or Glasner now in 31. Is Howe 31-32, then Arteta 33 better than Glasner for the table bonus? Who has Eddie Howe got in 31 and 32? 31, Newcastle have Leicester. There's no table bonus there. Oh, sorry, it's a double game week, isn't it? My bad. So 31, Leicester they have, so it isn't a table bonus. And then after that, Newcastle have Man United and Palace. So yeah, I think Howe could be decent because of the double in 32. I don't hate going for a double game week manager at all.
No. Especially if you want to equalise on the assistant managership, going for a double game week as well.
Yeah,
could be the turning point.
Yeah, I agree. 49 points without using the wild card, using it in 31, and don't know whether to keep Palmer in my team. If I take him out, I can get someone like Saka and Sarr with the remaining budget. So what would you do? I would probably take out Palmer for Saka. I think I'd prefer to have Saka in there now. Going back to my team, I just think Saka, I'd really want him for that double. So obviously the double's now confirmed. Arsenal have Palace at home and Ipswich away in game week 33. So I personally would like, triple Arsenal. I know we'll have a quick discussion on Arsenal. Obviously, Jordan, Gabriel's confirmed out for the season. Do you think that will make Arsenal's defence weaker? Obviously, a lot of people have double Arsenal defence. Does that deter you away from double Arsenal defence at all?
Yeah.
Or do you still think they'll be strong?
No, it does deter me, and very concerning for Gabriel, especially because he is like the brick wall in that defence for Arsenal, and he's obviously out for the season. So that's more boots to fill for Saliba at the back, especially whoever is to replace Gabriel in that position. But yeah, probably I think
Kivior, Ben White can play there if he's back, but it's looking like Kivior for now.
Yeah, it doesn't fill me much confidence now for Arsenal defence. I feel like it will be more vulnerable, and potentially they won't keep the clean sheets without obviously having Gabriel there. So I would worry for the clean sheet opportunities for Arsenal now. I think I would divert to attack and maybe leave out the defence now.
Yeah. But yeah, I think in your case, Harry, I'd go with Saka over Palmer. I didn't watch the full Chelsea game today. I watched bits. How did you think Palmer did, Jordan? Were you impressed or?
Yes and no. I mean, when Palmer does play recently in these games that we've seen him in, he's not playing as forward as.
It's 9 goals now. So 9 goals, 9 games without a goal. 8 games because he missed the Arsenal game through injury.
Yeah, he has been pretty quiet, Cole Palmer, and it only took really Saka a few minutes to score after coming on for about 20 minutes. So outweighing the options, it feels like maybe it is the time to get rid of Palmer, even though he should have done it ages ago. It feels like we've held on to him for so long now, hoping that he gets the result, but it hasn't come.
That Ipswich game looks nice though. Ipswich at home in game week 32. looks like a good fixture where he could haul. Even Brentford away, I don't think it's a terrible game for Chelsea. He could definitely return in the next 3. After that, in 33, I think I wouldn't be against keeping Cole Palmer for the next 2. I know he's not scored in 8 games or so, but Brentford away and Ipswich at home, I wouldn't be against keeping him for those 2 and then selling Palmer in 33 for Saka.
Yeah.
When Saka has the double game week.
Yeah, I think up to until the double game week, you can keep Palmer. I agree. And then obviously take him out when Saka has the double. Then
because looking at Saka's fixtures as well, I mean, the next game is Everton, right? But Arsenal have a Champions League game in there. So will Saka play 90 against Everton? I doubt it, right? And then they come back against Real Madrid and they've got to play Brentford at home, which is another quick turnaround. So Saka his minutes will probably be managed in these 2 as well, because we know the Real Madrid game is sandwiched between, and then maybe look to bring Saka in for Ipswich and Palace. And even then, obviously, when is that second leg? I'm trying to see when that second leg is. What day it is? Second leg. Hold on. So the first leg is on the 8th of April. And then the second leg is on the 16th of April. So the 16th of April. So they've got Brentford. And then after the Brentford game, they've got the second leg against Real Madrid and then Ipswich. So we will know by game week 33 whether Arsenal are out. If Arsenal go crashing out, which we probably expect against Madrid, then it makes, I think, Saka a pretty good asset for the double game week. They go through, maybe they'll definitely focus on the Champions League if they beat Madrid over 2 legs. So that's one to watch.
Yeah, because if they do obviously win against Real Madrid, they might just turn their head obviously against Premier League, and maybe Saka then becomes a non-playing player. Maybe he plays a couple of minutes, but not really important for Arsenal. Then in that case, it'll be more the Champions League where Saka will probably play more minutes in.
But yeah, I do think that the Arsenal defense will be sort of affected by the Gabriel injury. So in terms of defender replacements, if you want to go straight to another defender, you could go Saliba. It was the same price. Obviously, it's gone up in price, I think, Saliba now. So you can do Gabriel to Saliba, straight swap, if you want to stick Arsenal. Arsenal's fixtures aren't massively great. I mean, they've got a couple nice ones. Ipswich in there is quite nice. Brentford at home fixture. Everton away, who knows? Early kickoff could be a tough one to break down. Palace. Obviously, Arsenal do blank in 34, so do keep that in mind. After that, Bournemouth, Liverpool, Newcastle as well. So they're quite tough games there for Arsenal. So let us know, guys, what you think of the Arsenal defence. Do you think the injury with Gabriel will make you sway your mind on that and avoid having a double up on their defence?
In terms of the attacking options for Arsenal, this is a question for you, House. Do you reckon Mourinho is another option as well to add to obviously Saka alongside him? Because he's had back-to-back goals in the last 2 years.
Mourinho's, surprisingly, he's actually doing quite well. I think 4 or 5 goals he's scored now since going up front. I'm not looking at Mourinho yet, if I'm being honest. But if he carries on playing up front, in the double game week, he could definitely be an option. Because we know Arsenal, Havertz is out. He's going to play up there unless they do something like Trossard or Martinelli. But with the way Mourinho's scoring goals, I think Arteta might just carry on with going Mourinho up front. And if that's the case, then I think it could be an option, definitely. But for me personally, not yet. I don't think I'll go there. But yeah, in terms of other options in defence, trying to think what there is. I mean, you could go for a Liverpool defender if you don't want to. Well, Liverpool don't have any more doubles left. But Liverpool kept another clean sheet against Everton. Fixtures wise, Fulham It's going to be a tough game. West Ham and Leicester are some nice games here. Maybe if you want a bench boost with the Liverpool defender, maybe a Konate, Leicester away on a bench boost single game week could be nice. You'd expect a clean sheet here for Liverpool. But after that, it does get a bit trickier for Liverpool as well in the last 5. But as we know, Liverpool can wrap the league up, I think 3 or 4 more wins. But it's just one to watch if you are bench boosting in 33, as a lot of us are looking to do. Obviously, Forest defense is still there. Ola Aina, I believe, is injured, for the season as well, actually, if I'm not mistaken, or majority of the season, I think.
Yeah, because he's back. Well, he's expected to be back on the 12th of April.
Yeah, that's what it says here, but I don't know if that's accurate.
No, I don't think it is accurate. I think it is more extensible, his injury time.
Yeah, so maybe a Milinkovic or someone like Nico Williams become options. A lot of defender injuries, though. Obviously, Trent's still out, Gabriel's out, Ola Aina's out. These are the top 4 scoring defenders this season. So
there's also got Nuri, who had his clean sheet against West Ham, if that interests anyone as well. He has got Ipswich away next. Wolves don't give that many clean sheets, but Nuri is cheap at the same time. So if he does manage to get one, then it's worthwhile still. Low ownership.
But in terms of our teams, I think I'm going to roll. Because ideally you want to roll straight off a wild card, but it's going to be dependent on team news, I think. Just waiting to see what happens. But it's a quick turnaround, guys. We're back again. Saturday deadline again, right?
Yeah, Saturday deadline, I believe 11 o'clock. So we'll be going live at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Arsenal, Everton, early kickoff. So quick turnaround. And after this one, obviously, it's 1 game a week for most teams that aren't obviously in Europe now. We are now closing into the end of the season. The thing about benching Sarr is when he returns big, and I would crash out if he returns and he's on my bench. Yeah, I wouldn't personally want to bench Sarr. If I'm being honest, I'd rather play him if you can. AA 12, this is great content. Thank you.
Thanks.
Always appreciated. If you guys enjoy the content, hit the like button, please, and also make sure you subscribe to our channel. What do you think of Potter's chances of beating Bournemouth table bonus?
Well, I kind of value their chances more with Kluivert, as long as he's not going to be available for that game, because I think he's a big miss for Bournemouth. And with João Pedro back on form, that could possibly sway me in Potter's chances to beat Bournemouth.
What do you mean? Well, not João Pedro, sorry. West Ham, Bournemouth.
Oh. Wait, West Ham? Bournemouth. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah. I forgot Potter's changed managing roles to West Ham. Sorry, let me revise that question. West Ham chances.
Yeah, but West Ham's chances against Bournemouth with a table bonus for Potter.
In that case, not likely, I don't think. Even with Kluivert missing, I still not favour West Ham. West Ham's chances.
Yeah, and I've not been keen on West Ham this season. I just don't think they've shown anything consistency or being able to pick up results. I know they had that big win against Arsenal a couple of weeks ago. With the 1-0, because no one saw that coming. But no, I wouldn't fancy my chances for Potter for table bonus. I think it's quite risky. But if you feel like taking that risk, go for it.
Yeah, it doesn't fill me with confidence that they lost 1-0 to Wolves as well this game week.
Yep. But we're back again Saturday. I think we're going to wrap it up soon, Jordan. I don't want me too long. Before we do a quick Kneejerk stream. We're back Saturday, guys, for the deadline stream. Before that, we may drop another video, maybe a team selection, possibly. Because a very quick turnaround, midweek fixtures always is. Is there anything else you'd like to chat about, or you want to add to the stream more?
I think that very much wraps it up, because obviously it's late and we don't want to stay up too long, and obviously you guys as well. But we'll be back obviously Saturday morning as usual, normal schedule, and yeah, plenty to obviously talk about then on Saturday morning for Game Week 31.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you had a good game week. If not, then obviously there's another game week. So yeah, closing into the end of the season. We look forward to it now. And yeah, hope to see you guys on Saturday for the deadline stream. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one.
Yeah, thank you. Take care, guys.